I can still picture it exactly as it unfolded. One of those memories that digs so deep you can't erase it, no matter how much you wish you could. It was a casual Friday night dinner with friends. The room was lighthearted, easy chatter bouncing from jobs to vacations, laughter spilling, wine glasses half full. Then Sarah, my wife, leaned back in her chair with a smirk that told me something sharp was coming. "You know," she said loud enough the whole table, "he's really not that good in bed." The words clung to the air like smoke, impossible to ignore. At first I thought it was a joke. Maybe her attempted humor, but when I looked at her, there was no trace of playfulness. Only mockery glinting in her eyes. The room froze. Forks hovered. Silence pressed in. Heat surged my face. A slow burn of shame crawling up my skin. The woman I trusted with my most intimate self had just exposed me in front of everyone. I wanted to vanish. Pretend none of it had been said. But before I could even breathe out a response, another voice broke through. "That's not true." It was Emily, Sarah's close friend, speaking with firmness that carried a quiet defiance. Every head turned, all eyes fixed on her, her cheeks flushed, but she didn't look away. Sarah's mouth opened, then snapped shut as if she couldn't process what had just happened. I sat paralyzed, my pulse thundering in my throat. A flood of questions tore through me. Why would Emily say that? How could she know? Was she shielding me? Or was there something more? Sarah's face twisted with shock and fury. She slammed her glass down, the clink slicing through the silence. "Excuse me?" she demanded, her voice brew with strain. Emily swallowed, her eyes flicking from me back to Sarah. "I just mean, sometimes we say things we don't mean. You shouldn't humiliate him like that." But her hesitation said something else, something dangerous. The atmosphere tightened, every second dragging heavy and long. Sarah's fork slipped against her plate, metal scraping. She leaned forward, her tone sharp, edged with accusation. "Emily, what exactly are you trying to say?" Emily faltered for only a beat. She tucked her hair behind her ear, forcing a small, uneasy smile. "I'm just saying it's cruel to tear down your husband like that. It's not right." But beneath her words was an undertone, subtle yet unmistakable. And Sarah heard it too. My wife's eyes narrowed, lips tightening into a hard line. "Funny," she said coldly. "You sound like you know more than you should." The tension around the table was unbearable. Friends shifted in their seats, some fiddling with their phones, others prodding food without eating. Nobody wanted to meet anyone's gaze. But every mind was circling the same thought. What did Emily mean by "that's not true"? I sat frozen, caught in a storm of disbelief and suspicion. Emily's defense could have been simple kindness. Yet the conviction in her voice, the flicker of something protective, it didn't feel casual. It felt personal. Sarah shoved her chair back, its legs screeching across the hardwood. "You know what? I don't appreciate being undermined in my own home." Her words were sharp slicing. "If you got something, confess, Emily, say it now." Color drained from Emily's face. Her lips parted, then closed. She stared at her plate as if answers might appear there. "I don't owe you an explanation," she murmured, but the damage was already done. The energy in the room shifted, restless, buzzing. Everyone could sense something deeper hiding beneath. I tried to steady myself, but my thoughts crashed into each other. Had Emily just thrown away her friendship with Sarah for my sake? Or was there something else entirely? Sarah rose her feet, her voice cutting through like a blade. "You've crossed a line tonight, both of you." Her eyes swept over me and Emily as though we were partners in some secret betrayal. My stomach nodded. Whatever truth Emily's words carried, it was out now, and nothing, not apologies or excuses, could push it back into the dark. Murmurs spread as guests exchanged uneasy looks. Some slipped away to the bathroom. Others shifted impatiently, praying from night to end. But Sarah wasn't finished. Her fury had spilled open, unstoppable. "Well, Emily," she pressed, her voice trembling sharp, "why are you so quick to defend my husband?" "How would you even know?" Emily lifted her chin, her eyes steady now, no longer wavering. "Because I've known him for years," she said simply. "And I know the kind of man he is." Her words landed like a hammer blow. Gasps rippled through the room. My heartbeat thundered my ears. Sarah recoiled, pale and stricken. You've crossed a line," she stammered, voice quickened with rage. "Don't you dare act like you know him better than I do." I opened my mouth, desperate to speak, to stop the spiral, but no words came because deep down, I wondered too, Emily's defense had been too sharp, too personal. There was history in her tone, and Sarah had caught it instantly. Emily pushed her chair back, the sound grating against the floor. She rose slowly. Maybe I said too much, she admitted softly. But I won't sit here while you tear him down just to feel powerful. Her gaze flicked to me, and in that fleeting look, Sarah saw something she could never unsee. Loyalty, warmth, maybe even longing. Sarah's breath hitched. With a trembling hand, she pointed toward the door. Get out, both of you now. The command shattered the evening. Guests scrambled for coats, whispering awkward goodbyes. Emily lingered for a moment, glancing at me one last time before stepping toward the door. I stayed frozen in my seat, chest heavy, every breath sharp. Sarah's words rang in my ears, tangled with Emily's. Something had broken wide open. Later, after the house emptied and silence wrapped around us, Sarah finally whispered, "What are you telling me?" I had no answer that could soothe her because the truth was clear. After the night, nothing between us, between any of us, would ever be